Alright, it's 2011 Ford Explorer, front right CV axle replacement. What you do is jack it up, of course. Jack it up, take the wheel off. If you don't have anybody to help you, which luckily I had my wife here to put on the brakes. If you don't have somebody to help you, take the wheel off, you take the center piece out. Then you put your wheel back on, just 2 nuts will be fine. Put it back on, and you'll have an axle come through here with the nut. And then you let it back down, put your parking brakes on, and if you have a good impact and good air system, you can take it out and take that nut off. If not, you will have to have a breakover bar, which that's what I had because my impact wasn't any good. Breakover bar, I used a 32 millimeter socket on it, deep barrel. I broke it over. Like I said, my wife was in there. She just applied the brakes, so I didn't have to put the wheel back on and down jack it. Then, after I did that, I took my hammer, knocked it loose before I took the nut all the way off, so I wouldn't booger up any threads. I wasn't really worried about threads, but I just wanted to make sure. Then I took 2 bolts off here loose, dropped it down, slid the axle out of the hub. And now, if you see, there's 2 more bolts or nuts right back there I'm going to have to take off. This is the passenger side, the right side. So if you see, you got your where it comes into your hub, your first little axle, a CV joint axle, another joint. I'm not sure if that should be a CV joint, and then your middle part of your axle, which is on down there. That's the reason you have to take them extra 2 nuts off. So far I've been working on it about 20 minutes, which I've been kind of in a rush anyway because I got to get this done. All right, I got the 2 nuts out right there, and this is real easy. It just came right on out. If you see back there, that's where it goes. You got a little dust shield right here for your seal. It goes to your transmission, and if I'm not mistaken, if you look at this joint right here, it shouldn't pull out. See, this joint doesn't pull out, but that one, you hear all that noise. It's my problem. I was getting a wobble when I had or vibration wobble, whatever you want to call it, whenever I had the gas on. I let off the gas and it wouldn't do it. Now, this was after this thing has been wrecked, and I'm sure the wreck probably jammed it and broke it. Right. I went ahead and put a little bit of grease on the axle and up in here, on the splines and the dust cover, because it will connect or be contacted back there with that little bit of rubber seal. All you do is slide it back in there, put them nuts on, and if you see, this one don't make all that clunking noise. It still kind of pulls out, but not near as far as that other one. But it don't make all that clunking noise. Try to. Let's see if I can do this. It's kind of hard to hold the camera or phone. Just slide it back in there. Sorry, don't have crap on it. Alright, got it slid in there. I'm just going to take my nuts. Sorry. I'm moving another camera. Take my nuts and put back on here. And back in there. Alright. I got them nuts back there tightened up. Don't have to put a whole lot of pressure on them. Now, just wiggle this back into place. Do it. All right, I got it in there, and without taking anything else off. So far, one thing I took off was the wheel, this bolt or nut that goes in, that gets the shaft locked in there. These two bolts come out of your strut, and I just slid this off of this hose off of that right there. Not hose, it's actually electric line, probably for the ABS. And now I'm gonna try to slide the axle in there a little bit more. Stick the nut on there to pull it on through. Then I'll hook this back up, the strut back up, and I'll put that hose back on. And since my wife's not here, I'll go ahead and knock out that little center cap I was talking about earlier. Just knock it out from the inside out. And I'll put it back on, and I'll let it down. Then I'll finish tightening up this nut. Okay, I got the CV axle from O'Reilly's for right around $120. This nut, the nut off the original axle was a 32 millimeter. This one is a 30 millimeter that fits on this nut. All right, now whenever you're messing with your strut, if this one's kicking back and forth, so you got to try to line it up as best possible, flip it up in there, and just stick a screwdriver in there until you get then you can get it lined up. The nut on that is a 24 millimeter, and for the bolt is a 21 millimeter. Just finish tightening that up, hook this line right back there where it goes. Said put the tire back on, let it down, finish tightening the nut up, and finish, then should be ready to go. All right, got the wheel back on. Like I said, get off the jack. Got the parking brake on. I tightened up the nut on the axle. Then I tightened all these up the rest of the way. And now let's take for a test drive.